Pisces, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for June 6th to the 12th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Pisces, this week we are cultivating these new beginnings, which have been unfolding since this previous weekend. We had that new moon last weekend in your third house. And so what you're cultivating this week, I think, is a lot to do with your mind and a lot to do with your communication skills or abilities, and it could be through learning, through reading, through exchanging with others, anything that you've been perhaps focused on or starting to become more focused on this week. And I say that because it's still very new, because the Sun and Venus are going to go exact on Monday, and that's still that new moon energy time frame. And so there's still new insights coming in about this, about what you value about life in terms of learning, in terms of exchanging with others, your inquisitive side. All right, and so this is the new cultivation this week. And I think it's a great week to challenge yourself here. How can you challenge yourself with these areas? And that's really going to be, I think, assisting you in multiple different areas. I think it's going to be assisting you with your work life, with your adventurous spirits, with your aspirations, or what I should say, actually, your spiritual life, right? Getting more of that rest and relaxation, that alone time, which is that Neptune in your 12th. But, this is the Grand Cross energy, which has been unfolding with this new beginning, this new moon, with, understanding more about what you value in life, with exchanging and synergizing and learning of that third house. Now, at the beginning of the week, Mercury does go into that third, so you'll probably find that your mind is shifting more into here, where you could be getting into the practical side of learning. If it's reading a book, for example, it could be very practical. If it is about communication skills, it's learning more about them. This is Mercury coming into the third, which is a very comfortable place for Mercury to be in. And that's going to also be assisting these new beginnings. Now, also on Monday, though, that Sun-Venus conjunction, which has been in orb, is going to go exact. And this is really emphasizing these values that are unfolding with what you like to learn or exchange about or communicate about or express. And so with this conjunction, the Sun's in front of Venus, so there's just a lot of that passion or a lot of that energy there, or even excitement perhaps, to express self, to communicate, to learn. But we want to keep everything nice and balanced, because Venus is going to be behind the Sun, combust. And so Venus ruling your third behind the Sun is suggesting that we're not seeing the whole picture, because we're not seeing Venus in the sky. And so, awareness of self, awareness of mind, awareness of communication, awareness of correspondence, all of this keeps everything nice and balanced. And it's through that balanced state of awareness that there is a lot of insight coming in. Like I said, this week, it's a continued insight, continued understanding about these values that you enjoy, about learning and sharing and really tapping into that intellectual and communicative area. So that's going to be Monday. Then as we go into Tuesday, we are going to have that conjunction squaring up to the North Node and Pluto trining the North Node. So there's a lot of North Node energy this week. And this is about the area of integration, where I think you can really challenge yourself with these new beginnings. And it's, challenging yourself with that mind and communication, but I think also challenging yourself with your routine. Maybe bringing that energy into your routine, right? Maybe it's at work, communication at work, this kind of stuff. And this is where the moon is going to be in that first quarter phase. So seeing where you can, get your routine established, get your health established, your regiments, continue to cultivate your work, because there's opportunities there with Jupiter. They're subtle, and we have to walk through those doors and capitalize on them, but they're there. Even develop your craft, your self-improvement, helping others improve. All of this is sixth house. And this is a new area, so with the North Node, it's really about learning. So treat all of that everyday stuff open-minded and try new things, experiment. It's supposed to be new, but this energy for the next couple of years, it's so good for you to be putting energy into your personal development, into your work, your craft, and your routines. And it can be very powerful. Maybe there's something that needs to shift and change with Pluto trining up to that North Node. Something you might step into your power to make change with regarding those everyday things. Then as we get into Wednesday, Mercury sextiles Chiron, as well as Mars begins to trine Chiron. So there is some healing coming into the picture. And I think this is, again, healing the minds. This could be some, some rejuvenation here, some wounds being healed about intellect, about the mind, about communication, which is good. And this has been because Chiron's been in your first house this year. There's been this shift of you guys healing more about yourself, your self-image. Chiron in that first. Now, in terms of the trine up to Mars, Mars has been in your 8th, so you guys are reflecting on what really matters to you in life, maybe how you can be more open, more intimate in your life. These are good areas to reflect on. But with this trine, through that openness with self primarily, and that intimacy with self can be very healing. And that could perhaps come through your relationships. Could come through other areas of life as well. Now, there's going to be an opposition with Mercury and Mars here on Thursday. So with these two areas, it is about balance. And I think particularly on this day, we don't want to get just too caught up into the mental stuff of just the thinking, of just the mind and getting identified with the mind. And we don't want to get just too far into the deeper stuff either. We want to find that balance. Okay, so whatever this means for you personally in your life, having the balance of mind, having the balance of depth can be a great way of working with this opposition. And even with the directness and motivation and stuff, with the communication, it's needing this healthy amount of drive and ambition with your communication. And it's also needing a bit of inquisitiveness and learning about what really matters in life. And bridging the gap, bringing those two together, I think is excellent. And as we go into the weekends, we are going to have Venus sextiling up to Uranus. So we could be mixing some things up, trying new things over the weekend. Maybe with you asserting yourself, being independent, cultivating your goals. There's a lot of that free-spirited energy, especially because Uranus is in your first house. All right, and that's very much supporting these new beginnings with your intellect, with your communication, with your mind, which is, again, a great area for you to challenge and work on this week. All right, so Pisces, have an excellent week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.